Okay, I responded to the anarchist the other day about the Soviet Union wasn't real socialist. And now he decided to reply to that video by saying Jason Unruhe stopped defending Stalin. Okay, that's weird because that wasn't what I was doing. And that's not even what this was supposed to be about. It was supposed to be about the Soviet Union. Okay. Well, he criticizes the fetishizing of leaders, which is a criticism that I made in my Ideas Week, that there is a tendency to fetishize leaders, and that there's an overemphasis on defending the leaders as opposed to defending the ideas that they advocated. But there really is more to this. Let me clarify. This isn't a criticism of anarchism or anarchists. There are plenty of good, intelligent anarchists out there, even if I drastically disagree with them politically. I'm happy to cooperate with them and call them comrades, and a lot of them even personal friends. This is a problem of the anti-intellectualism and political dishonesty. And let's be real here. As much as those of us coming out of the Leninist trend may joke around or hate on anarchists, this is a problem of political dishonesty. Liberalism, anti-intellectualism is just as pervasive in our Leninist Maoist circles as it is in anarchist circles. One serious problem in Leninist problems is dogmatically defending every decision or action against Leninist leaders. Was Stalin's leadership for the most part a good thing? Yes, of course it was. But we should admit that Stalin did commit many serious errors. If Stalin hadn't committed errors, or if Stalin was some kind of omnipotent genius that could never do anything wrong, then the Soviet Union would still be around. And no, we shouldn't reduce the destruction of socialism in the USSR to a simple argument of bad people took over and socialism died. Some serious errors, including the banning of abortion, Stalin and Molotov's material support for Israel during the first Arab-Israeli war, which the Israeli leadership would later comment was vital to Israel's survival during the period. The banning of homosexuality in the Russian, the Soviet Socialist republics, or the flawed line pushed onto the Comintern of a communist USA over the strategy of national liberation in North America, which at the time was the correct strategic line in regards to building a communist movement there. Later, Stalin would correctly be criticized for his de facto stance on the theory of productive forces and his mechanical and police state view of socialism by the Maoists in China, even if they later ended up committing many of the same errors. Mao himself would famously say that Stalin was 70% good, 30% bad. I think a lot of Leninists and Maoists commit the error of over-defending socialist leaders. This is understandable, considering that the constant bombardment of slander aimed at these leaders by the bourgeois media. Because of this, communists will often overcompensate by and assume that any negative criticism is automatically a lie. Stalin was not some kind of omnipotent god. He was as much capable of committing errors as any other man. The Soviet experiment, while a genuine attempt at building communism, was sailing in uncharted waters, so it was inevitable that serious errors would be committed. We should uphold the experience of the Soviet experiment and defend Stalin's legacy from outright reactionary imperialist propaganda, but we should not dogmatically defend every decision made by Stalin or the Soviet Union. We should not be afraid of to be critical of any socialist leader or experiment, no matter how great they were. Mistakes were made, and unless we want to commit those same mistakes again, we must not be afraid to criticize and learn from them. Now, his video reply contained a lot of name-calling and insults, and not dealing with the arguments that I actually put forward, and the same can be found in his comment section of that video. He even went so far as to create a sock account to go leave harassing comments on my videos. Okay, fine. The way he's making this out to be is anarchists versus Jason Unruhe. No, this is a problem that you now have with me. Don't try to turn this into a whole, I have to get the whole anarchist community to be my personal army against Jason Unruhe. Because I do know anarchists and consider some anarchists, friends. So don't even do this. Like, don't even try to make this, to try to turn the anarchist community into your own personal army. If you can't deal with the arguments being put forward or make arguments yourself, fine. But don't try to drag other people into it and try to create this whole narrative of being me against the anarchist community. Because by and large, I don't care about anarchism. It doesn't mean anything to me. It's not important to me in any way. As should be obvious from watching my videos, the real struggle is first worldism versus third worldism. I don't argue about things like that, because I think that debate has already closed. It's already passed. So I mean, now that it's personal for you, make an argument and act like an adult, or just stop.